Click for IB Biology. Here we're going to look at the nerve impulse that begins muscle contraction, innervation of muscles, and we're going to look at how that nerve impulse traveling from a motor neuron initiates the contraction within the muscle. There's a PDF of this presentation down here in the description, where you'll also find some quick questions, 10 questions and answers to check your understanding, and then links will appear to additional videos explaining more and more detail of this particular topic. This micrograph here, this magnificent micrograph, illustrates the junction between a nerve cell and the motor cell, and perhaps I could just draw your attention very quickly to the multiple folding structures which are going on in this zone here. Worth remembering as we go into the next diagram. Any folding, of course, indicates an increase in surface area. There must be some kind of exchange going on. Our nervous system, our central nervous system and the spinal cord sends impulses down what are called motor nerves to the muscle. The motor nerves are branched at the end in this manner here, if you can see that. And where we have one nerve connected to perhaps around 100 myocytes, this is called a small motor unit. And characteristically, these generate low force of contraction, but are associated with endurance. So you probably guessed from this that small motor units are responsible for the sustained exercise regimes such as running, swimming, and so forth. So those are your small motor units. Sometimes, however, these motor nerves have many connections. So one motor nerve has many connections reaching out to many muscle cells. So perhaps we're talking about a ratio of 1 to 1,000, perhaps 2,000. So these are the muscle cells. This is the nerve, and these generate high force. So upon contraction, they generate a great deal of force, and of course, these are associated with the short-lived strength, power type movements which are necessary, but as you will also know, quick to fatigue. So this is the structure of our motor units. Let's take a closer look at the junction between the motor nerve and the muscle itself. This diagram here is actually a diagrammatic illustration of the micrograph that we had at the beginning of the video. And in orange, we have the body of the incoming nerve, the motor nerve, and the impulse is traveling down the inside like that. And it happens to be a wave of sodium ions. This will be studied when we do nerve structure. As the sodium ions reach the end of the motor nerve, there are vesicles, synaptic vesicles containing what are called neurotransmitters. And in this case, with skeletal muscle, the transmitter is called acetylcholine. So in here, in these vesicles, is the transmitter substance acetylcholine. And with the arrival of the nerve impulse stimulates the vesicles to migrate to the cell membrane here and to release the acetylcholine into this gap here. It diffuses across and is picked up by these structures here, which are the receptors for acetylcholine. The effect of this is to generate a new impulse within the muscle cell itself. And this impulse, which spreads through the muscle cell, is transmitted to the T-tubules of the sarcoplasmic reticulum that we previously mentioned. And the consequence is the release into the muscle structure of a wave of calcium ions. And this is the initiation of the contraction of the actin and myosin protein molecules that generate the force. Links to the actin-myosin force generation are coming up in front of you now, along with a channel link and links to the playlists, so you can check out the other videos in this sequence.